What's up, back with another one. Today we're talking about Rich Paul responding to Byron Scott after comments about LeBron James. So let's check this clip out.
Today we played 94 feet. They play 60 feet today because everything is predicated on shooting threes. You're not going up and down like we did. As far as physicality, it's not even close. I just thought it was laughable coming from one of the greatest to ever play the game. He's responding to LeBron James saying that the game has changed. Your thoughts, Rich Paul?
On the eras? I mean, you know, I think everybody's going to be biased to the eras that they played in. You know, I know what it looks like. I can't tell you what it was like because I never played, you know, in an NBA game. But I think coming from someone who has actually played and has played in multiple eras, I don't know about the word laughable. You could. There's a way where you could disagree with somebody without it coming off as what I would say would be offensive.
Disrespectful?
Yeah, disrespectful. Yeah, exactly. Disrespectful. There's a way that you can say things without it coming off as disrespectful. And actually, that's going to lead me into my get rich quick. Respect, in my opinion, is one of those foundational pillars. And I think respect is something that you should lead with as a human. Every human should lead with respect. And especially when someone has earned that, either through their productivity or their character. With that being said, and I think for me, I was always taught to respect my elders, to respect everyone, but definitely to respect my elders. But then, you know, some days I sit there and I think, and I see things, and I'm like, but what about when your elders do things or say things that actually warrants disrespect? And it's been a lot of that going on, but then that's a very slippery slope. Because when you get to the position that we are, Max, you're in, I'm in, we've got here, we work very hard to get there, and others have too. You got to be very careful because you get to a point to where you can say things or do things that knock you off your square. And also, in that case, if you're knocked off your square, then that means you've been tricked out of your spot. And if you're tricked out of your spot, what happens is you can say or do something that looks or feels good in the moment, but looks foolish and probably is foolish and lives foolishly forever.
Rich Paul's response was not loud or dramatic, but it carried weight. Instead of attacking Byron Scott directly, he focused on the idea that everyone tends to defend the era they played in. He acknowledged that players from past generations experienced a different style of basketball, one that was more physical and less centered on perimeter shooting. At the same time, he made it clear that dismissing another era, especially one that includes a player like LeBron James, should be handled with more care. Paul emphasized that disagreement does not have to come off as disrespectful. That word was central to his message. He talked about how respect is foundational, something every person should lead with, especially when speaking about someone who has earned their place through production and character. He also reflected on the challenge of responding when elders or former greats say things that feel dismissive. Make sure to drop a comment and like this video, and I'll see you in the next video.